All right, so you're here, which means you're ready to dive deep into some fascinating stuff.
That's right. We're going to be looking at gaming scandals.
Yeah, today it's all about the scandals in the gaming world.
And think of this as your shortcut, you know?
Exactly. We're taking all that complicated stuff, all those long articles, and boiling it down.
We've got a really juicy podcast script as our source material today.
Yeah, and we're going to pull out all the important stuff around cheating.
Oh, yeah, and swatting. We have to talk about swatting.
That's right, and all those crazy legal battles.
Those lawsuits get pretty wild.
They really do. So we're going to break down how cheating has evolved.
Because it's way more than just, simple cheats these days.
Right. We'll talk about how dangerous swatting really is.
And what those big lawsuits mean for the gaming world.
Okay, so first up, cheating.
It's a classic, right?
Yeah, but it's gotten so much more sophisticated.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just wall hacks anymore.
Right. Like, remember the old days when you could just use a Game Shark?
Totally different now. This script talks about aimbots.
Which basically lets you target perfectly in shooter games.
Yeah. It's like having an AI doing all the aiming for you.
Exactly. And then there's the deepfake voice technology.
Oh, man. That's crazy, using AI to sound like someone else before he got shut down, of course.
But still, that's a lot of money.
It really puts things in perspective, right?
You've got players grinding for hours trying to earn loot boxes.
Or climbing the ranks, maybe even spending their own money.
And then you have these cheaters buying their way to the top.
It really undermines the whole idea of fair play.
All right, let's move on to something even more serious.
Swatting.
This is some really dark stuff.
It's not just about gaining an advantage in a game.
This is about real-world harm with potentially deadly consequences.
So for those who might not know, swatting is when someone makes a false report to the police.
Like pretending there's a hostage situation or something really serious.
Yeah, and they do it to trigger a huge police response, usually a SWAT team.
And they target specific people, often streamers or rivals, in the gaming community.
The script brings up the tragic case of Andrew Finch.
An innocent man who was killed in 2017 because of a swatting incident.
It's a horrifying reminder that online actions can have real-life consequences.
Devastating consequences. And the legal system takes this very seriously.
The person responsible for Andrew Finch's death got a 20-year prison sentence.
So it's not something to mess around with. But what's really disturbing is that swatting is still happening.
Despite the risks and the penalties.
The script mentions that there are even Discord servers dedicated to organizing these attacks.
And they do it for clout, for attention. It's just mind-boggling.
The script also talks about this Call of Duty pro named Firo.
He was swatted twice in 1 month.
Imagine the terror of having a SWAT team burst into your home.
Not once, but twice. He even tried to explain the situation to his viewers during a stream.
With a handwritten sign because he was afraid to even speak.
It's a clear example of how swatting connects to that broader toxicity in online gaming.
That sense of detachment where people forget that there are real people on the other side of the screen.
Right, that anonymity can embolden people to do terrible things.
Okay, let's shift gears again and talk about some of the legal battles in the gaming world.
There are some pretty interesting cases out there.
Some serious and some that might seem a little ridiculous.
The script mentions those Fortnite dance lawsuits.
You know, rapper 2 Milli suing over the Milli Rock and Backpack Kid suing over the floss.
It sounds crazy, but it raises questions about copyright in the digital age.
Like, can you actually copyright a dance move?
Epic Games argued that you can't, and those lawsuits were eventually dropped.
But it sparked a lot of discussion about intellectual property and how it applies to games and online culture.
Right. And then you have the big money lawsuits between major companies.
The script talks about the Activision versus EA conflict over Call of Duty developers.
That was a $400 million issue.
Which shows you how high the stakes can be in these legal battles.
And then there's Nintendo.
Known for being very aggressive in protecting their intellectual property.
They've gone after ROM sites and anyone else who tries to infringe on their copyrights.
And they don't mess around. So you definitely don't want to be on their bad side.
It's a good reminder that while some lawsuits might seem frivolous,
there are also serious legal consequences in the gaming world.
Especially when you're dealing with a company like Nintendo.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. Cheating, swatting lawsuits.
It's a glimpse into the darker side of the gaming world.
But it's important to be aware of these issues.
They reflect the complexities of our digital age.
And how they intersect with entertainment and culture.
It makes you think about those wild fan theories that pop up in gaming communities.
Right? Like, could there be more to some of the strange things we see online than we realize?
Could seemingly random behavior have hidden agendas or deeper motivations?
It's something to think about as we navigate this digital world.
Definitely, it's a world full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises aren't so pleasant.
But that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Absolutely, and it's always evolving, so who knows what we'll see next.
That's the beauty and the danger of the gaming world.
Exactly, and it's something that we all need to be aware of.
So stay informed, stay safe, and keep exploring.
And always remember, there might be more going on than meets the eye.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep it real and keep it fun.
See you later.
Bye.